G'day there, guys. So, we've got another episode. This time we're going to do some omelettes. Simple, nice and easy, and I was hungry. So we're going with 2 eggs, but I was an idiot and forgot to have it on my table. What you can do is, if you're not sure about your eggs, because they do last a while, just get a cup of water, anything like that, fill it up, and then, if you put the egg in, you'll be able to tell. If it sinks, it's good. Alright then. So, also, I messed up by doing 2 eggs in this omelette, so it ended up being quite large. Now, today I've got a few things, but the thing about omelettes is you can have it with anything. And now what you need, just a bit of milk in there, just to help it go around. And then, again, try and make sure you have your things ready before you, otherwise you look like an idiot when you're on the internet. So you're just going to whisk that all together nice and easily. Make sure you're getting all the milk and the egg combined. Make those yolks nice and smooth. Doesn't matter if you have a few lumps in there, it'll all be alright. So what I've got in front of me here is I've got some mushrooms just roughly chopped, and quite a bit, I know, and some garlic prawns. We had some, Mum and Dad had some for dinner, so I thought I'd use some to make myself an omelette. Alright then, now let's go over to the stove. Alright then, so here we are over at the stove. So what we're doing first, a bit of oil into the pan, make sure it's nice and hot, then put our mushrooms in. Now that looks like a lot of mushrooms, but they are going to reduce down quite a lot. So you just want to be stirring them, keep stirring them. And the thing with omelettes is you can really put anything you want in there. You can have, like this one's going to be a mushroom, prawn, parmesan, and a bit of roast potato. So a bit of salt and pepper in there is always needed just to help season it, make sure everything's good. But really you can do anything. You can do a simple cheese. What you could do is with the ox heart, you can even dice a bit of that up, quickly fry it off, chuck that in there with anything you like. You can even do some of that ox heart ragu in the middle of it. Probably would have been a good idea because that way we're using up less ingredients. Now, eggs do keep a lot longer than you would expect. So they're alright, but just be sure to check them if you're worried. You can always put a little bit more oil in the pan with the mushrooms so that you can make sure that everything's going along nicely. Now you can just see sort of as the mushrooms, they're getting a lot smaller, a lot more reduced, and then we've got the roast potatoes that I've just chopped up. Put those aside, and then we are going to the prawns. So dump your prawns in there and then just stir them around. Now they've got that juice in there, but so these garlic prawns are really, all that you need to do them is a bit of butter, some garlic, and some herbs. Chuck those in, melt that down, then toss your prawns through them. If you do it with raw prawns, be careful not to overcook them as prawns can get quite tough. Then just add everything back together so that those flavors get nice and friendly, and hopefully, and then we can go on to making our omelette. So we've got fairly large amount of butter here, and then just get that nice and hot, nice and fluid, and then we need to add our egg. So as you can see here, my pan is too hot. It started scrambling the egg mix more than you actually want. Also, that pan is too small for that size an omelette. You can see they're sort of leaving streaks, and then make sure you've got that good coating on the bottom and let it sit. So what we want there is that's going to get our coating on the bottom, get that nice and crispy, and then sprinkle a little bit of parmesan on here. That's what I've done. You can use any cheese you want. I just had parmesan sitting in, and I like the funky flavor. Again, salt and pepper to season it off. And then what we're going to do is, so now you can sort of see it moving around. It's all holding together. We add in our mixture as the egg is talking to us. Now I'm straining it out because a bit of that juice that's come off, you don't want that in there, otherwise you're going to end up with a really soggy omelette. Now you can see that I've definitely made this omelette way too big for my pan. So it's just going to sit there, make sure that all of that egg is together. And let's see, can he do it? Can he do it? Oh, he's getting a bit worried there. Oh, and that's a right mess. So you see, that's the problem that with having this be too big, is that it's not really held together properly. You do want a bit of a thinner omelette. This isn't a proper style omelette. This is just the way that I was raised making them. And then you can see I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it. Yep. All right, there. And there we go. Now that's just a nice little wrist action there to get it off, and that's just going to brown off the other side and give you that crispiness that you want on an omelette. All right, so this video's recommendation rather is going to be Crash Course. Now you can find them on YouTube. They're pretty damn popular, and they have a huge range of topics from economics, philosophy, literature, and history, as well as sciences. But yeah, all right, guys, I'll see you next week.